Hi guys, I'm going to show you a quick technique today on how to make a gel medium transfer. This is the book that I altered for the journal challenges over at Your Paper Pantry. It's just a book that I got on Amazon after I saw it on somebody else's video, and I was like, I have to have that. So I went on Amazon and found it, and it was like $4 to get it shipped to me. That was like the whole price. So I altered it, and this is how it turned out. So in here I've already started one of my first page that I did. It just says, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? So I've been messing around with some different techniques on how to do the gel medium. And I'm just going to go over what I think works good and what didn't really work very good for me. This is just a page that I printed off. I just found this image on the internet and just duplicated it in different sizes on my just word processing program. I have a laser printer. I have not tried this on a jet printer, but everything that I've read says to use a laser printer. So if you don't have a laser printer, you can go to Kinko's or one of those places. Somebody said that it costs like 10 cents a copy to print it out on a laser printer. So, okay, so I've practiced with it a couple different techniques, and I'm just going to go through what I think worked well and what I didn't have so much luck with. So one of the things I tried is you take the gel medium. This is golden regular gel, and you do like a brush a coat on, let it dry, brush a coat the other direction, let it dry, brush another coat, let it dry, and then you put it into like a bucket of water, like, you know, soak the back of it, like really just soak it. And then you rub, oh yeah, to let it sit there for a second. And then you rub the paper off of the back like this. And then what you end up with when you're all done rubbing the paper off looks like this. Which, it's okay, I guess. Maybe if I trimmed it all the way down to the, took all the white part off, because even though I rubbed all the paper off, the gel medium is still, it's not see-through. I don't know if you can see. I mean, it is see-through, but it's not clear. It's like translucent, it's white. So, I don't know, to me, this isn't really much different than gluing a piece of paper directly to your paper, directly to your journal. What's the difference in just gluing down a piece of paper and doing this? So this wasn't exactly what I wanted. I mean, it looks cool, it looks fine, whatever, if I wanted to sit there and cut it all out, but like I said, what's the difference? It's not really transferred to anything, it's just like plasticky. Yay. Then I tried doing it directly to a piece of watercolor paper. Not so much. The watercolor paper wants to, I tried to salvage this, but the water paper wants to come off before, the gel transfer does. So that was not a success. This floating medium, not the same. Tried that one, thought, oh, well, I have it, I'll try it just to see, it says medium in the name, but it's not the same. So, anyway, here is one that I did right into my journal. This page has been gessoed and also just painted with white acrylic because the pages in this book are pretty bright. They're double thick pages, and some of them have, like, see, this one has like a little, they have like different little flaps and envelopes and stuff. Like this one flaps open like this, and then it also flaps open like this. This one's been gessoed. Anyways, after I gessoed it, I also just painted it with white acrylic paint, just to try to hide some more of that stuff. This one right here did fine with the inks and stuff. You can't see, because this had just as much writing behind it as the rest of them did, you know, printed image. So what I was going to show you on this one with the paint on it, sorry, down here, if you can see, this one I tried to do where you just put the gel medium on your picture and turn it upside down, and then you burnish it, and then you lift it up while it's still wet, and it leaves, you know, the ink behind. And as you can see, it does have something there, but nothing spectacular. So, and if you see over here, I did it trying to wait a little bit longer. You know, maybe I didn't do it long enough, but when I did it, it just, the paper started sticking and it was just a mess. So that was not how to do it either. Now this one right here is actually done the right way, and the only thing that I don't like about it is I didn't trim close enough to my image. So this one turned out great. I'll show you how to do it, but my recommendation is to cut as close to the image with, like, you know, as much of the white part gone as you can get, because whatever gel medium is there, the paper will come off, but the gel medium is going to still show behind there. So if I was to spray that with mist or something, it would kind of repel that area. See, I'll do this one right here. So like I said, just get as much of the white off as you can. And like I said, anywhere that the gel medium dries on your thing, it's going to leave a background that you can't get off. So if you don't want extra gel medium on your book, then do it on a different piece of material, or paper, or background, or whatever surface. So you're just going to do kind of like a thick coat on your picture, and then immediately put it upside down on your surface, and then you're gonna smudge it down with your fingers, and then just use your bone folder or your finger or a brayer and just make sure you get all the bubbles out. So that's about it on that. And then you want to take a paper towel or whatever you, maybe a baby wipe, and just wipe down all of the stuff you smudged out before it dries. So basically, yeah, it needs to be dried, and you can use your heat tool to dry it, but don't get too close, because you'll, if you bubble the medium, then it might not be the look you're after. Okay, so these have been allowed to dry for a while, and I wanted to show you one more thing before I start taking those off. This is one that I did a quick transfer. That's the one where you just brayer it down and let it, you know, don't let the paper dry all the way, and then peel it up. And this is on just gesso. So if you do like the more weathered look, you can see that's what that looks like. Okay, so we're ready to start taking up the paper, and I just have this big spray bottle from the dollar store laying around. So you're just going to spray it on the paper and let it sit for a minute. Okay, just kind of let the paper get soaked in there. The cool thing about doing it on the acrylic, this acrylic has been cured for probably a week. It's just cheap acrylic paint. You could use any color you wanted to, but it really repels the water a lot better than, say, like just a gesso page. Okay, so when it starts getting, the water gets soaked through, then you just take your finger and you're just going to rub it around until all the paper comes off. See, I just lost some of it, but that's okay. I kind of like it that way. It meant I was rubbing too hard, so just a nice, you don't have to push your finger down, just move it back and forth and the paper will just ball up under your finger. So there's that one. Let's do this one. At first it doesn't feel like it's doing anything when you're not pushing down really hard, but if you just give it a minute, it just needs to find one place to come up. Interesting to note that the one that had the least amount of time to dry, which is this large one, is definitely more distressed than the other one, so that might be the key if you're looking for a more distressed look, is to not let it set up as long. And the one that had the longest amount to dry has come out pretty much perfect, if that's the look you're looking for. So there you have it. This one not cut out all the way from the white paper. This one allowed to dry the longest. And this one allowed to dry the least amount of time. And I imagine if you wanted to distress it more than that, you could, just rub a little bit harder in certain places and that ink will come off. Okay, so here's my finished page. I just used alcohol inks and just kind of dripped them all down the page in, different shades of brown to go with the steampunky colors. And then the quote says, "We all have wings, but some of us don't know why," which is just a lyric that I like from a In Excess song. I did take this Mod Podge, which is like glossy accents, and I put it on all the butterflies last night and I let it dry overnight, and it was a little too perfect for me, so I heated it up, and this is what happened. So I heated it up, and the parts where it was thin, it made like this bubbling, which is kind of cool. And then the parts where it was thick, like this up here, I haven't done this one yet, but where it was thick, it kind of got cloudy. So I just took my craft knife and I pulled it up. So half of, the wing, or parts of the wing, don't have anything on it. It's just like really raw and chunky. And then other parts of it have like this bubbling technique on them. So that's how I finished my page with my transferred butterflies. Thanks for watching.